Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Silver the Hedgehog here, and I am back for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games DS version, and welcome to Day 5 of Paris Olympics 2024. So, yesterday, we did somehow participated in the Saturn circuit, and much like the forms of how it does it on Jupiter circuit, we did that particular circuit no problem, especially concerning for the fact that we got ourselves a flawless victory with all three of these events, and somehow we claim ourselves a glorious Saturn trophy. So today, for this video, is about the fact that we're going to continue things on, and we're about to be moving on to the next circuit, and that's what appears to be Moonlight Circuit, which does contain 400-meter hurdles, triple jump, and dream table tennis. So, and this might actually be the final circuit we can able to tackle through on beginner's class, because as far as I'm aware, much like the console version, after we're done with the forms of Moonlight Circuit, assuming of course we need to be on first place, mind you, so able to actually claim ourselves our glorious trophy, but as a result, something tells me we can able to actually unlock advanced class eventually. So either way, this time around though, as you can tell, we are about to be selecting Yoshi this time around. So because of that way we can able to actually play as one of those speed type characters as far as I'm usually concerned with. So anyway, let's go and get to it with the forms of 400-meter hurdles, where the controls wise plays pretty similar to the forms of how it does it in 100 meters alongside with 400 meters, except that in order able to jump over hurdles this time, you have to tap the touchscreen in order able to jump over for those hurdles. So, and just like in 400 meters event, obviously though we have to keep an eye on with the forms of not only the speed meter, but it's also with the hard stamina as well, because if you manage to able to overdo it, obviously though, much like in 400 meters, obviously though, you're about to slow down. So either way, let's go ahead and hop into this, shall we? So, few things I want to talk about is about the fact that, well, today's date, of course, is the 30th of July today, in some cases in 2024 today, and just like the forms of how it does it since in yesterday, the weather condition is right now, in the UK country anyway, is actually going pretty good, even though, mind you, about the fact that it might be a little bit hotter today, especially concerning for the fact that we're still in summer after all. So, relatively speaking, that's all I can really say about this, I guess. So, anyways though, there's also another thing's worth noting for, actually, is about the fact that I did recently manage to finally come back onto Sonic Dash recently, and I finally managed to able to unlock myself the next cosmetic character, specifically for Shadow the Hedgehog, because get it about the fact that the year of Shadow never ends, during the forms of this year in particular, especially concerning for the fact that in order able to actually just to go back onto Sonic Dash, I have to reset my phone up. So because of that though, like, for instance, in the past few days, I swear I was getting able to try to unlock some more characters in the past few days. Like, for instance, I was originally trying to able to actually unlock Treasure Hunter Knuckles during that specific period, but unfortunately though, I'm still basically stuck onto this particular infinite loading screen, which doesn't load up the game after all, which means I have to able to quickly switch off my phone off, and as a result I have to do this particular reset. So because of that though, thankfully it's now working again, so this means I can finally able to actually go back onto Sonic Dash more often, especially because, relatively speaking though, as I said before, that I somehow managed to able to unlock myself the next cosmetic character for Shadow the Hedgehog, which appears to be Idol Shadow. So because of that though, seems pretty cool all in all. Actually, I'll explain more about that in a second, because as you can see, we are now moving on to, presumably speaking though, the final event that's going to take place in athletics, specifically in field, because as far as I'm aware, here we go on to triple jump. So basically, it's kind of like long jump, except the fact that we have to jump 3 times. So because of that though, the control scheme is basically identical to the forms of how it does it in long jump. So I'm really hoping about the fact that I can able to try to successfully able to do a successful run during the forms of this particular event, so much so. Although, mind you, about the fact that sometimes though is about the fact that I swear, if I was trying to able to do a specific jump, then obviously though I have to do a quick flicking, reflections or something like that. So, anyway, so we'll get into speed locking system. And I somehow fail, so there goes my first foul, so terrific start right there. But oh well, no big deal. We still got about 2 tries left, so... Because unlike the forms of how it does it in Tokyo 2020, that basically though I have to go through 2 jumps only rather than 3 jumps. So either way, and as far as the forms of London 2012 Olympic Games are concerned, specifically on the 3DS, you only have 1 try, and that could be also applies on Rio 2016 for the likes of the trading mode. So because of that though, and yet again I've got myself yet another foul, so because of that though, it's not looking that great. But hopefully, 3rd time lucky, I guess, especially depending on my luck department when it comes to likely trying to able to do a quick flick swipe for the actual bottom screen. So either way though, I honestly have no idea why I keep on shouting towards the microphone for whatever reason, but that gives us a little bit of some attention to the crowds. So, alright. Oh, a little bit off for that 2nd jump, but I'll take it. I'll definitely take, let's just say, 3rd place if I'm assuming so? I don't know, we shall see. I'll take 3rd, because as far as I'm aware, nobody else seems able to actually use the special token yet. I get the horrible feeling about the fact that they might able to actually use the Circuit Chance token on the final event of the circuit, and that's what appears to be the first of the Dream events in the DS version, and that's going to take place in Blue Sky Fields this time. Okay, that seems a little bit interesting. So either way, here we go on to Dream Table Tennis, and sure enough, all 3 of these other opponents decided able to use the special token. So either way though, I have to specifically try to aim for 1st place. So either way, so I'm pretty sure about the fact that the controls are basically exactly the same as regular table tennis, except the fact that there's an additional button we can now use, and that's what appears to be the X button. And you can use that button to, yeah, as you might have guessed, you can able to actually perform a special skills. So now I'm pretty sure about the fact that you can able to actually fill up for about 3 special skills at a time. So either way though, despite the fact that we only have to use 1 of them to be more specifically. So anyway, let's face off against with Daisy to start with. So and as far as I'm aware, just like the console version, we need to aim for about 50 points. So yeah, wish me luck, I suppose. And hopefully though, I won't mess this up quite a few times, unlike the forms of how it does it on a regular table tennis event. So, and yes, I did indeed manage able to practice for that particular event, by the way, on my spare own time. Not only on the forms of certain coincidence, but it's also about the fact that I have to do multiple reruns on that particular, well, you get the idea for that point. So, anyways though, and also, as far as I'm aware, that we're about to be getting yet another cosmetic characters at some point in the future, in regards to the forms of not only Sonic Force's speed battle, but it's also about the fact that we're about to be getting probably some of them from Sonic Dash. I was expecting or two. And that's what appears to be about the fact that apparently though, until when it gets to the point until in August at some point, we can probably able to expect to get yet another cosmetic character, but this time around for Knuckles, and that's what appears to be Karate Knuckles. So, kind of an interesting cosmetic character choice as far as this is concerned. So, and I'm really still hoping about the fact that it will come over to Sonic Dash. I was really hoping for, especially concerning for the fact that I can able to actually reach up for about, let's just say if it's a possibility, I can able to reach for about 100 playable characters in Sonic Dash as far as I'm concerned, minus the forms of the missing 2, which is of course Hello Kitty alongside with the forms of Miss Pac-Man, because I somehow felt a bit too late to able to actually miss those characters out because of the forms of how the fact that I do know that Sonic did tell me that we have to deal with the forms of the worst battery life on used second-hand condition of our first mobile phone we've somehow got. Well, technically speaking though, iPhone to be more specifically, that's what appears to be the normal iPhone 5 with the worst battery life, even though the screen works just fine, for what I've heard anyway, but that's as far as I can probably figure. So, anyways, it's time to face off against with Miles Tails Prower. And as a matter of fact, if he goes into first place on this event, I would not guarantee to get a trophy for that. Especially concerning for the fact I've already used my circuit chance since on 400-meter hurdles, so I must able to actually claim first place. But if I don't, I'm not going to get a trophy. Although I'm sure it's still possible. You can able to still proceed onto circuit mode if you're in second or third place. But, I digress. So, apparently though, out of nowhere, I found out that there's actually going to be yet another LEGO building set that's going to be on its way. And this time what appears to be based off from the 16-bit sprites of not only Mario, but Yoshi as well, based off from, you guessed it, Super Mario World. So yeah, that's actually pretty interesting, especially at the moment right now, it will cost about $209.99, whilst I'm not exactly sure about the forms of the Great Britain pounds as far as the actual specific conversion as far as I'm concerned. Maybe I'll try to search more about it during at some point in a later time, but either way. And also, what I found out is about the fact that when it comes to the status for the likes of Idol Shadow from the likes of the forms of Sonic Forces Speed Battle, that basically though, in terms of the forms of the actual status between speed, acceleration, and strength, that obviously he got like 10 out of 10 for speed, and acceleration he got 7 out of 10, and as far as strength is concerned, he obviously got 6 out of 10. And in terms of items though, he actually got himself quite an interesting items as far as, you know, choosing that character as far as I'm concerned. Like, he obviously got himself Storm Cloud, and there was also Chaos Crowd. So yeah, that's actually quite interesting. And finally, Ultimate Waveform, because, you know, something relates to musical and stuff like that. So yeah, he obviously did manage to able to have himself 2 of those items based off from music and stuff like that, which I think is actually quite interesting as far as item selections for him. So anyways though, let's go ahead and get ourselves our glorious victory, and somehow I have accomplished first place overall. So thankfully I can get myself my Moonlight trophy after all, so pretty swell for Yoshi's part. So anyways though, so something's worth noting for as well, that there's also going to be additional 2 playable characters that's going to be coming later on throughout the forms of Sonic Forces Speed Battle, which, as a result, I might talk about it until tomorrow, because for now, we've somehow done every single circuit on Beginner's Class. I mean, then again, though, for the most part, though, is about the fact that we did those events no problem, apart from a few exceptions, but I do need some bit of a couple of practices for the time being, just in case about the fact that as soon as we're able to go back onto select circuit right there, obviously not only did we somehow claim ourselves the next trophy, so we've now got 5 trophies so far. In addition to that, the new event has been unlocked, which appears to be Vault, so that's actually quite interesting to come across into that event early on in the game this time around. In addition to that, Advanced Class has now been unlocked. In addition to that, the Stardust circuit is also unlocked as well. So this means about the fact that much like the Wii version, obviously though we can now stumble across into 4 events on those specific circuits, whilst compared to the forms of how it does it on the 3rd and the final class, well, I'll explain more about that if we continue proceedings for this point. So anyways though, so with that being said folks, is that we get endings for this point right here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games for the Nintendo DS version, and that's what appears to be about the fact that we gotta get started with Advanced Class with Stardust Circuit. So yeah, I will see you guys until tomorrow. Later fellas.